Good evening. Happy Thursday, everyone. How y'all doing?
Oh, doing great, man. How are
What
you?
up?
Doing good, doing good. Glad to see you guys on tonight. Super excited about the live and having the team on the live tonight. So we're going to be able to knock this out kind of quick to get you guys back to your families for this Thursday evening. So we're going to keep it short, sweet, and simple. We'll give it a few minutes, so seconds for some people to hop on. But we're going to knock out all the mandatory items and then answer any questions that you guys may have pertaining to the event that's going on this Saturday. So again, just standard run-of-the-mill things. Make sure that you guys are dropping your names in the comment section so that we can make sure that you guys get the credit for attending. I know looking at the registration list, we have two members that are Jeff is not new to fishing our events. He fished an event with us last year. He's from Minnesota. He's down in Florida. He's going to be fishing. So I'll make sure that, he's on here. What's going on, Jeff? And then we have another name that's I'm not familiar with, Peter Gale. Make sure, if you're watching this, to make sure you drop your name in the comment section below. But with me saying that, just remember that this event is an open. So we did that just for any anglers that are stayed behind from the Bassmaster Kayak Series event that stayed down in Florida for whatever reason and would like to fish. This is an opportunity for them to jump in and have some fun up in North Florida. But it's also an opportunity for any other anglers across the state that might be interested in kayak fishing tournaments or just, finding a group of people to fish with. This is a fantastic opportunity for them to jump on board and get to compete. Again, these are not very heavily trafficked boat lakes, so it's a somewhat safe environment to be able to get out and enjoy a nice Saturday fishing with some friends and with a chance of taking home some money. So if you know someone out there that's interested, there's no membership fee that's waived. Just have them go in, sign up. They will still have to sign a liability waiver. If you guys don't know where that's at on the tournament dashboard, if you go to the rules on the far right-hand column, you click that link, it'll pull up our 25/26 rules, scroll all the way to the bottom. They'll sign the rules acknowledgement form, making sure that's just verifying that they understand the rules. And then right below that in the Appendix A is the liability waiver for anyone that's an adult, and Appendix B would be the youth waiver. Make sure you guys get those filled out and sent to floridakayakbasstrail@yahoo.com to make sure that you guys are squared away before Saturday comes around. So, but yeah, without further ado, again, if you're watching this after this goes live, still make sure you put your name in the comment section below and reach out to any of us if you have questions pertaining to the event on Saturday. So I'm going to take over. I'm going to go through all of the, standard run-of-the-mill things, and then we're going to turn it over to Sean and Jeff. They're going to talk boundaries and lakes, and then Todd will cap it off with safety, and we'll be monitoring at all times the comment section to make sure if you guys have anything, we'll get it answered here. So again, same thing, tournament details, launch time is going to be 6:30 a.m. That does, for those anglers, I know the boat ramps are probably limited. So for those of you that are at a lake and you have, anglers, quite a few anglers at your boat ramp, you guys can launch your kayaks, meaning you can get them prepped and in the water before 6:30. Okay. If there's 15 to 20 people at your specific boat ramp, as long as you are in your kayak within 50 to 100 yards of the boat ramp, you guys can stage there. And then once 6:30 hits, you guys are more than welcome to go out to your spots that you're going to be fishing. So lines in is going to be 7 a.m. Lines out is 3:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And you have until 3:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to get your photos submitted. Okay. Pre-fishing is going to end 6 p.m. on Friday, before the Friday before the event. Make sure that you are checking in and off the water on the Tourney X app. All anglers must be checked off the water in the app by 3:30 p.m. Okay. If you guys have issues with service out there, I haven't pre-fished out there. I haven't never been out in this area. I don't know what cell service looks like. But what I will say is it's going to be the angler's responsibility to make sure that they get their fish uploaded by that 3:30 deadline. So if that means if you're struggling to upload your fish, you got to get off the water in enough time to get to an area in which you may have service or you have service to upload those fish. My advice on this is, as you are fishing, don't hold your fish until 3 o'clock to start uploading them. That is the wrong time for you to realize you don't have service and you can't upload your fish, right? So you catch your fish, as soon as you do, go in there and upload it to make sure that your phone is able to do so. Don't hold them in the live well and think that you're safe, right? Make sure that I know we switched to Tourney X because of the, how easy it is to upload in areas that have little to no service. No one has reached out to me with any problems with service while out there if they were pre-fishing. So unless you guys have gotten anything, I think we should be good. But I just wanted to throw that out there because there's been events in the North region where anglers have not had service and expected us to extend that photo submission deadline just so that folks can get it. It's an angler's responsibility to get off the water in enough time to get their fish submitted to count. So be cognizant of that. Richard has a question for check in and check out. If you decide to change lakes, no, you do not need to check in and check out anytime you switch a lake. You can, by all means, but that's not something that I'm looking at, or will I know if you switched lakes, really. But you're more than welcome to, but it's not mandatory.
The only time we'll know that you switch lakes is if you upload fish on two different ones.
Yeah, and then I would assume you're on the water at that point. So it's going to give a location of where you're at. So one thing that I will say in regards to location settings, what if you don't have service to check in? Reach out to me, send me a text, or communicate with somebody. Again, this check in and check off thing, we're using it this year. So if there's any issues with it, make sure if it doesn't allow you to check in because you lack service, just send me a message or let someone else know around you that if they have service to reach out to me to let me know that you're good and you're on the water. Just simple as that. And if you catch a fish, normally when you go to submit your first fish, it'll say, make sure you check in. It'll make you check in first before you can even submit a fish, is what it's done to me in the past.
Most of the ramps had good service. I didn't use Tourney X out on any of the lakes, but I did use Fishing Chaos. And if you were close to the ramps or if you were close to where the houses were on the lakes, you were fine.
Yeah, and if anyone went out there and pre-fished, drop it in the comment section below. Not necessarily where you fished, obviously, but just say, hey, service was good. If you had AT&T, Sprint, no, I'm just kidding. AT&T, Verizon, T-Mobile, whoever. Again, we're very cognizant of these areas. This is the first time that I think any tournament has been held out there for kayaks other than the Kayak Adventure Series. And no one has expressed having any issues out there. They were obviously able to upload their fish. I'm just saying it as a preliminary, as a precaution to make sure everyone just understands. But yeah, Barbara, good question. What else am I missing as far as standard tournament information? Registration, it finishes tomorrow night at 11:59 p.m. So make sure you guys get registered. I think we're sitting at like 18 or 19 anglers as of right now. So I know a lot of folks generally wait until Friday to get signed up. So again, this isn't open. Make sure you're sharing it with your friends. This is a great opportunity and a great fisheries to be able to go out there and just have some fun and catch some fish. On the Tourney X dashboard, for those of you that are new and this is your first event fishing this year, if you need an identifier, an FKBT identifier, I have an example of one here. Pulling up. If you guys go to the rules that's within the tournament dashboard on Tourney X, you click that, the very last page you can print. There's a page there that you can print that has all of our identifiers on it that you can do whatever you want to do with, and just make sure you have one of those. If you're new and you need one and you don't have access to a printer, reach out to Jeff, Todd, or Sean, or someone in the club. You can go to the Florida Kayak Bass Trail official Facebook page and say, hey, I need an identifier. Someone will get you an identifier. Worst case scenario for those of you that are fishing the open and you're a non-member, as long as you have the code in the picture, we will accept it. We're not expecting those non-members to have that code in there. This is an opportunity to get them into the club and just experience it. But as long as the code is written on something, not on your hand, right? Make sure it's written on a piece of paper or something. We'll accept it there. The code will be released tomorrow night at 7 p.m. So you can find that on the TourneyX dashboard. It should send out a push notification saying, hey, the identifier has been released. You can also find it on the Florida Kayak Bass Trail official Facebook page. I'll post it there with a breakdown of the payouts and award ceremony locations, all of that stuff.
So real quick, Chris,
yep.
the sticker on the bump board.
Yes, sticker on the bump board for non-members. Again, if you're an FKBT member and you're competing for Angler of the Year points, you need to have an FKBT identifier and a sticker on the inside of the fence. The official board measuring device for this tournament is a catch board. You have your Yak Attack leaderboard. You have your Bubba bump board. Those are still the only approved measuring devices, but we're not going to necessarily require you guys to have that sticker there on the inside of the fence for those non-members just coming out to fish the event. Once you become a paid member and you're fighting for Angler of the Year points and what have you, that's a totally different story. But the great thing about the way we're capturing our Angler of the Year points this year, it's based off total number of inches plus a 10-point bonus if you catch a limit. It doesn't matter if we have non-members fishing our events because it's not going to mess with Angler of the Year points. It's solely based off of, how well you actually do in that event. So we're lucky in that regard. But, and grateful that we're able to, open it up to allow, anglers to come out and get a chance to see what it's like to compete with some of the best anglers here in Florida. So good question. Does that make sense? We're trying to make it as easy as possible for you guys. We're here to help. We're here to provide any help that we can in regards to that. Yes, Dwayne, a Bassmaster sticker will work just fine. Again, award ceremony was updated on the TourneyX dashboard. Lake Yale. It's going to be the Marsh Memorial Park and Boat Ramp. The address there is in the TourneyX dashboard at the very bottom on the info. You'll see it. I also put a link in there. If you click that, it'll take you direct. Should pop up the Apple's Maps or Google Maps and give you real-time directions there. So you should have that. But yeah, that's all I have for the tournament details. I'll turn it over to Sean and Jeff, and I'll be monitoring the comments for any other questions pertaining to that.
So real quick, I'll cover the lakes and then I'll let Sean talk about some of the boundaries. But so again, North County Challenge, Lake Yale, award ceremony, Marsh Memorial Park and Boat Ramp. There's also the Boat Ramp West that's open on Lake Yale. So you got 2 ramps there. Lake Holly, the Lake Holly Public Boat Ramp is open, and it's any body of water that you can get to from the ramp. So any connected water, whether it be Lake Holly or if you're launching from Sellers and you go to Chain of Lakes, as long as you don't get out of your kayak and portage, as long as you stay within your kayak paddle, even if you're scooch over a sandbar or something, you're good for anywhere you can get to from those ramps. So Lake Yale, Lake Holly, Lake Dorr, the Lake Dorr Recreation Area campground is open. Farley's Lake, and the Farley's Prairie Recreation Area primitive boat ramp, Chain of Lakes and Chain of Lakes canoe access, Sellers Lake and Sellers Lake primitive boat ramp. I will say that right now there is a forest fire on, I think it's on the west side of Sellers over by Buck Lake. And you just have to be really careful. If you choose to go to Sellers, be aware you park at your own risk and you launch at your own risk. So if you're seeing smoke close to the lake, I would get off and go to a different lake. But yeah, there's a lot of roads that are restricted there, and you got to be careful.
Let me say something on that. I'm going to be making a post here because actually one of the anglers that's competing sent me the forestry Facebook update that they had. Timothy Campbell, thanks for that. I'm going to post that or share it with in our Facebook page so that we're keeping a close eye on it. There may Friday, depending on, they do updates at 6 p.m. I'm going to reach out to them. I will be giving an update before the end of the day tomorrow to determine if Sellers Lake is actually going to be in bounds due to that wildfire. Based off of the 6 o'clock update, they said that they recommend, or those roads are closed. I don't even think you're able to get to the boat ramp there, and it's not fishable at the moment. But I'll keep you guys updated on that.
Yep. And then just know that whole area right now is under a burn ban. It's very dry, middle of the drought. A lot of these lakes are low. Just be very cognizant of any of that on any of the lakes. So,
Yeah.
So after Sellers Lake, there's Beekman Lake, and Beekman Lake Public Boat Ramp is open. Grasshopper Lake and Grasshopper Lake Public Boat Ramp. That is a pay ramp. I think that's the only pay ramp that we are not. Grasshopper, Wildcat. So Wildcat Lake and Wildcat Lake Recreation Area boat ramp, and that's the pay ramp. I think that's the only pay ramp that's on here. It's $5 and you pay it at rec.gov. There's a sign there with a QR code to go scan. You put in your license plate and pay. So just make sure, all of the parking, everything for this tournament being up in the Ocala National Forest, there's a lot of parking restrictions. So make sure you just check and make sure you're parked well. All of the parking is park at your own risk. So those are the lakes. There's 9 lakes as of right now. If we have to make that restriction on Sellers, we'll do that. But it should be a good event. I know the weather, we're pre-front fishing. It's some of the warmest days in the last couple of weeks. And then there's a cold front coming through on Monday. So the reality is this weekend should be on fire.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And like I said, I'm also going to push an update through the Tourney X dashboard on Friday night. So if you're registered, once you're registered, if anglers register after that, they're obviously not going to get it. So I'll post it on the Facebook page and send it out again Saturday morning, as well as just a reminder on Sellers Lake and where it sits. But again, just make sure you guys, I can't stress it enough. Like Jeff was saying, don't throw your trash out. If you smoke cigarettes, don't go throw your cigarette butts out as you're driving down those roads. A lot of those roads are like white sand, right? And you're going through the forest. So just be aware of your surroundings. If you see trash, you see something, just say something, pick the trash up, leave the place better than it was before we got there. Right. So just let's do our due diligence and take care of the environment first and foremost. And let's not cause any more harm to the forest. So.
Yep. If anybody has any questions on lakes or launches, let me know. I also have an extra measuring board. I have an extra flag. If anybody that's jumping in on the open and needs one, let me know. We can figure out where to meet and I can hook you up with that.
So I just saw Dwayne reach out. He said, should we not go to Sellers? I will make a post once I get in contact with the forestry department there tomorrow afternoon to verify kind of what the current status is and what they recommend. It didn't say it just says we suggest. It didn't say that the lake was shut down. But I do know in some of the photos that were posted, it appeared that their fire was right, that they were putting out at that moment was right by one of the boat ramps there. I could see what appeared to be kind of a boat ramp in like a turnaround area. So I'm going to reach out to them. Like I said, I just found out about it right before we hopped on the live. So I'm going to do some more research. And again, if you see a sign that says this road's closed and that's the road you got to take to get to Sellers, then obviously that right there is going to tell you that lake's out of bounds. Don't cross any boundaries that says restricted or not accessible due to wildfire. Obviously don't put yourself in harm's way. We have plenty of other lakes that are out there as eligible bodies of water that you guys can have access to. So again, just be aware of what's going on in your immediate area. If you see smoke, don't drive towards smoke. And that's all I got to say about that.
Yeah, just doing quick research because, like Chris said, we just found out a few minutes ago. But if you go by the map locations, it's more so Farrell's Lake that's affected than Sellers. But Sellers is being reported in the news for Forest Service Road 22, which changes over as you go east towards Sellers. So between Farles and Sellers, like Chris said, we'll keep you updated if the status changed between now and Saturday morning. But the map overlay for the launches is pinned to the top of the Florida Kayak Bass Trail official page for all those launches. Specifically, I think it's Lake Door off the top of my head. It's a little glitchy on the Florida Public boat ramp finder on here, but specifically I left one ramp off on Door because it very specifically specifies registered campers only. That's why Door only has one ramp versus two. Any questions on that? All the ramps are identified. You can always reach out to me. I created overlay on Google. If you're having issues accessing it, just let me know and I'll send you a link again for a second time direct to you. That normally resolves all the issues. But if clicking through these, there's no ramp fees. Wildcat, I know Jeff brought it up. Last time I went to Wildcat, I don't recall seeing a pay. It's not specified. It's specified as $0 at Wildcat. Some of them say none. Which
did they change it? They might have changed it.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. Currently on the FWC ramp finder, I do not see any fees for any of the boat ramps, but some say none, some say $0. So I'm sure it's subject to change at any time within Florida. But
yeah, last time I was at Wildcat, I had to pay $5 and register on the website. But
yeah, fair enough. I went there about a year ago and fished, but specifically, like I said, if you have any questions and the caveat off of what Jeff was saying, if you launch that ramp and you can get to it, specifically like I'm tracking, there's some low water all over Florida, but Sellers, there's three ramps essentially. You got Beekman up in the northeast, you got a south ramp on the south end of Sellers, then just the northwest side. All three are on FWC ramp finder. I opened all three. If you can go from Sellers to Beekman and stay inside your kayak and push over sandbars or wherever low water crossings are without getting out of your kayak, it's fair game. You can paddle, pedal, or power as far as you can go from any of those launches on those lakes. We're not getting out. Only for emergencies. If you have to get out, just let us know. If you have an emergency, hey, I'm getting out of my kayak here. It's just a quick phone call. Myself and Chris's number is well documented on the official page. So all you have to do is search Sean Spears, Chris Bailey, and you'll find our phone numbers on there. I'll be driving down Friday at some point, but I'll be out there. I think Jeff's going to be out there. I think it's just us two, correct? And
no, Todd's going to be there. Todd will be there.
Todd's coming down from the Panhandle.
I am.
And also, too, something I want to throw out there: the boundaries link that Sean's talking about, that is on our Florida Kayak Bass Trail official pin there. It's also in the tournament dashboard on TourneyX. If you scroll down, I put the FWC Boat Ramp Finder webpage link and Sean's boundary link there as well, that you guys can use to make sure that you guys are on public bodies of water.
Yeah, I think the real big thing that we need to stress is a lot of these boat ramps are small ramps. So like Wildcat, for instance, it is a turnaround. 4 roads come in there and they are all Forestry Service roads. You cannot block Forestry Service access. So if that ramp is full and you can't park there without blocking a road, especially with the fires going on right now, don't block a road so that you can launch. Move to another ramp. I know people want to fish where they pre-fished, but if that's the case, get there early.
Yeah, definitely don't block any roads. If there's active fires or patrolling going on, if you're blocking it, they're either going to tow you or they're going to run through your vehicle, and then they're not going to potentially pay for any of the damages caused there, right? If for some whatever god awful reason a fire happens to take off during that time, again, just make sure you guys are aware of your surroundings. Again, this is a forest. It's that time of the year with it. If you're camping out in the forest, make sure, I'm pretty sure there's a fire ban, so fires probably are not allowed right now in those areas. I know when I was down in December, they weren't allowed for Kissimmee, right? So make sure if you're camping, you don't have in your open flames and something, just have water. If you're cooking with a propane tank or something, just be aware. And if you get a fire, and if you have a fire and you get caught, or the fire service comes out there and you get in trouble, that's on you. Just make sure that you guys are following the law and not adding another hazard to that particular area. Heads up from the FS powers that be, Northwest Launch on Chain of Lakes is not there anymore.
Are they talking about the canoe access?
Yeah, Denton, are you talking about the canoe access road or the canoe access launch?
Okay.
Again, right?
Yeah, I
so
know
make
which one
sure.
he's talking about. It's on the northwest side of Sellers. It's the northwest launch on Sellers.
Gotcha. Okay, yeah. So
the other
again,
launch is still there then. Yeah.
There's two other. There's one on Beekman, one at the south end of Sellers.
Yep.
And that answers your question there, Dwayne. Doesn't Beekman have a canal that runs into Sellers?
It does technically, and that's why I brought it up. Low water may prevent you. If the water's up, yes, you can travel from Beekman all the way down to Sellers. That's why I bring up.
Yep.
If you launch there and if you can paddle,
It was low. It was like 3 feet low last time we were there. So it's going to be hard to get through some of those canals, but as long as your kayak's floating and you're in your kayak.
Yep. And again, too, I want to preface this here too. Like this concept that we've done, we did it for Central Florida. That was our first event of the year. Very successful. A lot of fish were caught there on the Winter Haven chain, which is a chain that the club hasn't fished yet. So we're in the North County now, where we're incorporating the Ocala National Forest, which, being a kayak fishing club, it brings us back to our roots. And getting us off of some of the heavy traffic water that we've been fishing with Kissimmee and Lake Toho and all those different lakes. So this is a different scenery, right? You're not it's kind of out in the middle of nowhere, but it gives you guys an opportunity to fish, so many different types of water, and something you probably would have never fished before. And who knows, you may stumble across a hidden gem and catch a 100+ inch bag, and because it can definitely be done out there. There's a lot of big fish, in those bodies of water. So it's just, you figure out what it's going to take and how to catch them. So I'm super excited about it, and want to know your guys' feedback when it comes to this, right? We reached out last year for members to say, hey, what is it that you want to fish? And a lot of feedback was, hey, can we fish smaller bodies of water, multiple lakes, and kind of open it up to where it's not such, heavy traffic boat tournament, lakes that are going on right now. So that's just something we're trying, right? A lot of tournaments are down in Florida right now, fishing all of these main bodies of water that we would generally, or historically have our tournaments on around this time of the year. So that's why we chose the North County Challenge to be going on in the Ocala National Forest at this time. It was to get us away from some of those heavy hit bodies of water that have been hit pretty heavy over the past couple of weeks for those big boat tournaments. So just kind of giving you a background on why this, how this kind of came about. So give us your feedback. We're open to it. There's some things that we've already talked about on how we would kind of do some of these things a little bit different going into next year. So we'll see. We welcome all feedback. Yeah, thanks, Todd. Yeah, no, definitely. We're excited to be able to allow or, to kind of, provide that experience to you guys. So again, a big thing that we want to harp on here is just be aware of what's going on in that area. Always communicate. I'll put my number and Sean's number in the message that I send out through the virtual, recap on Tourney X, so that you guys you'll have me to reach out to, and then Sean for on-site communications. Jeff, I don't want to put y'all's information out there, but I know Sean and I have been out there since the beginning. So,
dude, my information is all over the world.
Todd's is out there too. So, if you guys have questions, always know to reach out. I'm going to turn it over to Todd now so he can talk safety.
All right. Thank you, sir. Good job. So on the safety end of it, it's the same as it's always been. Number one thing we want to make sure that we have on is our PFD, right? We want to be safe. If you need to, it doesn't look like there's any rain in the forecast, or if it's a little chilly in the morning, you have a jacket, make sure that if you have to remove some clothing or change it, you can take your come to a complete stop, get your rods out of the water. You can remove your PFD or whatever clothing on or off, and then put your PFD right back on. If you don't have a PFD on and someone sees you without it and reports you, you can be disqualified if we see it. And we do highly recommend reporting anything if you see something, right? See something, say something, because we want to make sure that, we can talk to those individuals and make sure that, they're on board and they're safe and all that good stuff. Okay. Next is if you're launching before daylight, make sure you have your lights on. If you're running a motor, you got to have your front red and green navigation lights. If you don't, you still must have a 360 light in the back with a flag, and it must be flying above your head when you're seated. Um, the other thing is, um, as we've already talked about, checking in and checking out off the water. Um, if you're like me, some of the times I forget about it. So what I've done is I've set an alarm to remind me to check in and check out. So highly recommend doing that, because if not, you'll probably be like me and forget, and then there you be. Um, what else? Anything else that I
Nav lights. You already talked about nav lights, the 360
have
light,
lights?
all that good stuff. Yeah.
Whistle. Make sure you have a whistle.
Yeah.
Make sure your boats are registered. Um, And within our club, we are allowed to have two motors, but you can only run one motor at a time. You can't run both of them at the same time. So just keep that in mind as well.
Yeah, and one thing that I'll say as far as safety regarding outside of the actual competing and safety within the tournament is if you do plan on staying out in and around the Ocala National Forest, be aware of bears and wildlife and what have you, right? Lock your doors, keep your property, your kayak and everything you safe while sleeping. I see Ranger posted in here. Are they strict about not sleeping at the ramps? I I don't know, right? You're gonna. I mean, it's out in the middle of nowhere, so the chances of someone patrolling and stopping you would and asking questions might be far and few. But again, it is. I know in the Ocala National Forest, when you're off in those areas, there are it's kind of open camping, right? They're open camping, kind of like off the grid type stuff. So I don't. I will have to. Do you guys know Todd or Sean? Are they strict? I don't. I wouldn't think they would be.
I don't know. I can't afford to get stopped by another game warden in 2026. I've already been stopped one time for sleeping at the ramp.
Yeah, I mean that's something that
I got a warning already.
You can look up at on the National Forest website. They talk. I'm sure they definitely have a blurb there on open camping. So it pretty much tells you what you are allowed to do with it while you are within the Ocala National Forest. It's very vast. It's large. So make sure you guys do your due diligence and look. I'll post the link to the Ocala National Forest website where it breaks down camping up, and what have you there, so that you guys can make your educated educated guess, but just be educated on what you guys are allowed to do if camping out there. I see Denton posted in here, law enforcement and campsite hosts around the Ocala National Forest has been given info about our tournament. So police officers will be kind of going in and throughout that area. Just make sure that you guys are keeping your vehicles locked. I mean, you're kind of out in a remote area, so it's always good practice anyways. I don't know of very many people who keep their vehicles unlocked, but if you do have stuff on a kayak trailer, so if you know what I mean, just make sure that you have it tied down. If you have multiple kayaks and you're only using one, just make sure that it's strapped down, locked. If you have a little tracker on it, what have you, to kind of eliminate that. Another thing Denton said, there is a forest-wide burn ban following all county ban guidelines. So Marion, Lake, and Putman until February 24th. If inside an approved campground with a FS, which is a fire suppression system, supplied burn ring and or a grill, burning is still allowed. So if you're staying at a campground that has those authorized burn bins or rings with a grill on it, you're able to burn there. Yeah, we weren't even okay. Granger said he'll just pull off the road and put a tarp over the truck. I mean, so that's a good point. Denton was talking about how there's I guess folks out there that are living in the Ocala National Forest. I find it very hard pressed that they're gonna bother anyone that decides to sleep at a ramp. So
yeah, and generally in the past, it's very hit and miss across Florida on how strictly they enforce staying at boat ramps. You know, it's around Okeechobee down in Hendry County side, they're very strict about it. But you go to other lakes, it's Lake Istapoga, they're all about it. Orange Lake, you guys were all there last year. FWC stopped by. They were super nice, didn't bother us at all, and let us continue about our business. So a lot of it's on the individual. Like I said, I got stopped back in December, right before Bailey got down there. We were on the phone with them. We were like, hey, we can't stay at this ramp. They just gave a few of us a warning. So we found another place to go until our campsite opened up the next day. So it's very hit and miss on how loosely. So definitely read into what the Ocala National Forest allows and doesn't allow.
Yep.
And if you violate those, that's on you, the individual, if you violate the rules, ordinances, or whatever that county or that forest is.
Yeah,
and definitely read into it. We do the same thing. And where we got stopped was formerly a campsite. We didn't realize it changed. It was a first come first serve campsite, but it recently changed. So that's where we were uninformed, because we assumed that it was still staying at that same status, but in all reality, it changed. It was no longer a first come first serve campsite. So definitely read into it, because it does change. Same like I was saying about boat ramp fees. Some say none, some say 0.00, which tells me that it has been a cost at one point. Maybe it's not now, and may come back again. So other than that, like, definitely do your research. It's out there. FWC Ramp Finder is a great resource. OcalaNationalForest.org or whatever the website is. I looked at it earlier. It's a great resource. So
I'm looking it up, and didn't just put it in the chat as well. By their policy, there's no camping allowed at ramp areas. But that being said, if you're sleeping in your vehicle alone, and there nothing stopping law enforcement or the game wardens to come up and knock and ask, what your intentions are and what you're doing there. But that will more than likely be the extent of it. As of right now, I guess there's a lot going on with, what they're doing up there, that law enforcement's least worried right now on, that what y'all are doing and camping out there is the least of their worries. So also door was a $5. Jeff probably went out there and did, Jeff is just saying door was $5 as well. So door and what other one? Wildcat are $5. Just make sure, if you are approached by police officers, be respectful, right? And they are the ones that are there just to enforce the law. So, if they ask you to leave or move, my suggestion is that you guys find, there's plenty of campground areas in and around that area that you guys can reach out to and camp at or park at for the night. That would be, in that area. So, worst case scenario, if there's someone out there, camping that has an open site or any suggestions, drop it in the comments or put it on our Florida Kayak Bass Trail official page for folks that are coming in. But again, there's plenty of opportunity or places out there for you guys to kind of camp in your vehicles over the night. So, is there a cash option at Door and Wildcat? Most places they have an envelope that you could put cash in and put your money in. I have never been at any of these lakes, so I would have to put that over to anyone else who's been out there. Maybe Jeff can ask or can comment on if there was an option to put cash in an envelope or not. So Denton, he works for the Ocala Center here, and those that don't know already, and I am fine telling everyone here, he said he works for the Forestry Service on Ocala National Forest. So if you guys have any questions, you guys please, I'll put Denton. Are you okay with me putting your name out there, or information or whatever, so folks can reach out to you with any questions they may have? And Jeff, for Todd Zekiel, Jeff said that there was no cash option for either one of those lakes. There's a phone. You take a picture of the QR code, and it should take you right to that link. And if it's something that you can do afterwards, I'm not sure if that's something that they are, going around and how they would enforce that. You can go to recreation. So Todd, what you could do is probably go to recreation.gov and do it ahead of time if you need to do it from home. And do it that way. Put your vehicle information in then, if that's possible. No, Todd, you'll be fine. No worries. If you have any questions, reach out, and we'll do our best to assist any way that we can. We're looking forward to this event. This is something completely new. We've never done this before. So like I said, we'd love to hear your guys' feedback and, ways that we can potentially make this better. Denton did drop his phone number in the chat below. I'm not going to pull it up on the screen here, but if you have any questions pertaining to the Ocala National Forest and camping or what have you, please reach out to Denton Giovinco, and he will get you guys squared away with that. Denton, is it okay if I reach out to you regarding the Sellers Lake fire and all of that pertaining to if it's going to be open to the public on Saturday? So yeah, if you can reach out to me after this, and we'll touch base again. So before this is going to transition here from the mandatory captains meeting. Again, if you're watching this after the fact, please be sure to drop your name in the comment section below to receive credit before lines in on Saturday morning. What I would like to do at this time is kind of transition over and talk a little bit about Angler of the Year and kind of where we're at with that. So for those of you that aren't tracking or are tracking, I'm going to pull that up real quick. We're sitting pretty good right now in Angler of the Year. So let me pull it up. Just give me a second here. Right now we're sitting at Blake Abbey with 400 points. He's sitting in first place. We got Thomas Woodring in second, Jeff Gallagher in third, JT Leach in fourth, Evan Fracasso fifth, Ryan Dills sixth, Robert Oakley seventh, and then eighth we have Richard Bruce. In ninth, Granger, and then in 10th, rounding out the top 10 is going to be Kylie Short. So that running is hot and heavy. We're middle of our season, so remember, Angler of the Year this year, it's based off of the total number of inches an angler catches in each event. If you catch a limit of 5, you get a bonus 10 points. So right now, Blake Abbey is at a even 400 points. So it's a tight race, still plenty of fishing to be had. A lot of opportunities for that leaderboard to shake up. Angler of the Year this year is going to be going home with a pretty cool custom, one of a kind trophy, Thor hammer for the hammer out there. We're going to do something like this for Angler of the Year. That's not the exact one, but it's going to be something similar to that. As well as $2,000 cash money. Check will be written and ready to go after the championship. So championship is included in the Angler of the Year race. So we're super excited to see who's going to be taking home that really cool custom trophy and the $2,000 cash. Something else that's pretty exciting. Some of you may have saw my Facebook post. But we received something in the mail from Catch this week, and I'm going to pull it up here. This is going to be our custom Catch trophy that we have purchased. We wanted to do something a little bit different this year, so we got with Catch, and we're like, hey, we want to incorporate and do something, a little bit bigger and better than we have done in previous years. This is our 4th year in the running, so we're going to try to do different throughout each year to kind of make it different and unique for each angler that are competing in these championships. So this is going to be going home to the champion. It's a triple-sided, 3-sided custom trophy. I'll go through the different sides here. So it's presented by Luz, and on one side we have Quilco, we have Granger, Outdoors, Rapala, Real Fishing, Roasters, and then on the other side we have Strike King, Cross Kicks, Nakawa, and Hobie. All there to all of our great sponsors for this year. So we're super excited about, what that looks like. We're going to be doing 2nd and 3rd place custom trophies as well. More to come on that. We're working, we're developing a design on what that's going to look like. It's not going to be catch trophies like this, but we have another company that we're going to be using for unique, custom, one-of-a-kind style trophies, as well as some of the main checks that we've done throughout the entirety of the year as well. You'll still get some of those basic big, large checks that we do. So yeah, wanted to definitely discuss that. If you guys have any questions, comments, concerns about the club or how you guys can become members, always open to reach out to myself. Give us a follow on all of our social media platforms if you want to follow along or reach out to us, and we'll be happy to help get you guys pointed in the right direction. So we know there's a lot going on in the state with different national trails coming through and other events going on. So we'd love to see you guys out there fishing, having fun. But yeah, I'm super excited for the North County Challenge. Bummed I can't be down there. But Sean, Todd, Jeff, and all those, and Dave are all going to be there. And it's going to go off flawlessly like it always has. So we got some product too, some new product that'll be going into the giveaways. We got some Strike King Thunder Crickets and the Red Eye Shads that are going to be added into the giveaways as well for the remainder of the year. So again, something I do want to highlight is we've transitioned over from giving, big expensive items away throughout the regular season events. We're going to be doing something a little bit different. We've prioritized it and budgeted our money a little bit different this year to focus on higher payouts at the championship. So, and for AOI, so we're trying to boost those payouts like we received from what we received in our feedback from our members last year. But we're still giving away great prizes. We're doing our Hobie eyewear. We have our Luz our reels and rods that we've been giving away. We have Strike King stuff. We have stuff from Granger Outdoors that has been graciously donated things to us. So there's still things that we're going to be giving away, no doubt. But again, just we're trying to prioritize where we're spending our money to boost those payouts at the end for everyone. So just wanted to push that out there to you guys as well. So really cool trophies and higher payouts is what we were trying to do this year. So anything, Todd or Sean, you guys want to add to that?
No, you covered it all.
Yep,
Looking
you
forward
got it
to
good.
it.
Yes, sir.
All right. I'm looking forward to it as well. I'm trying to do things a little bit different. So hopefully it's for, the betterment of the club. Again, I just want to make sure that we're running the club as smoothly and, seamless as possible. Denton did pop back on here. He says all lakes are open. Just keep situational awareness around Sellers and Farrell's launch for Rainbow gatherings person still hanging around. So Rainbow may have some folks hanging around that area, but as of right now, Sellers and Farrell's Lake are still open. Just keep your situational awareness as far as the fire goes. So appreciate you, Denton, for all of your input to this. We're looking forward to the event, and I'm ready to see what's going to be caught out of there. So I don't know about you. What do you guys think it's going to take to win?
I have no clue. I'm going in blind, as per normal.
Yeah. Same here.
Yep. So I mean, I haven't been out there. I don't know. I'm curious to see. I was surprised by what came out of the Winter Garden or the Winter Haven chain. So I'm hoping, as of right now, our FKBT lunker is still out of Orange Lake, and that's going to be Dwayne Dwyer. He's making his way here too to fish this event from Northwest Florida. So I'm sure someone's going to catch a giant. I'm not sure if it's going to be 25 inches or plus, but I wouldn't be surprised if someone did, to be honest with you. So right now, Dwayne, you're still the beholder of the FKBT lunker. And yeah, we're excited to see kind of where the rest of the season takes us. So Denton said real quick, I'm going to put this up on the screen before we hop off of here. He said he's talking with the Forestry Service rec manager now. He is saying to download the rec.gov app. It's easier to pay for Wildcat and Door on the rec.gov app. So if you're watching this and you plan on going to fish those lakes, you guys can download those apps and make sure you guys are squared away with any sort of ramp payments there. So thank you, Denton, for that. I greatly appreciate it. Okay. And again, if you have any questions and you're watching this afterwards, please contact me directly through Facebook Messenger or through my personal cell phone. I will put it here in the comment section below. Chris's cell, I'll put that here. You guys contact me directly, but I do ask that you guys say, hey, this is so and so, give me your name so I know who I'm speaking to, and then ask your question so I can make sure that I'm addressing the people appropriately whenever they're calling. But I just dropped my cell phone number in the chat. Save that to your phone. Give me a call if you have any questions or you need any help while out on the water. But yeah, we appreciate you guys staying tuned.
You can put mine in there too if you want, if they can't get a hold of you.
Okay, what's your? I don't have it on the top of my head. So, yep. Oh, Todd's gonna put his there too. He will be in person there with that. So, we appreciate you guys again. We're looking forward to it. We're at our halfway point of the season. Super excited to see how the rest of the season goes. Again, very grateful for you guys. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, definitely reach out to us. Be safe out there on Saturday. Good luck. Hopefully someone out there catches a fish of a lifetime. We just saw an 18-pounder caught in California. So not saying you're going to catch one here in North Florida, but not counting it out either. So best of luck to you guys. Again, looking forward to it. We'll see you guys next week. Later.
There's one last thing here.
Oh, sorry. What you got?
Denton popped up here before we go. He said law enforcement can run plates to verify rec.gov payments, but he said please print out the permit and put it in your dash.
So nice. It's definitely something that you can do preemptively if you guys are planning on going out there and fishing those lakes. So awesome. Thank you, Denton, for that. We appreciate all of that input and feedback, and that's something that I will pull all of these comments from you, Denton, and I will push those out through Tourney X as well to all members and anglers that are registered, as well as putting it on our a Facebook post on our official page, just so anglers are well aware. Again, appreciate you guys. Thank you for tuning in to us. We're under the hour mark, so super grateful for that. I want to give a huge shout out to all of our sponsors that have come through this year in a huge way. I just noticed after looking at it throughout the whole night that our background was black the entire time. So my bad on that, but a huge thank you to Nakua. We have Strike King Luz, Rapala. We have Real Fishing Roasters. We have Granger making those custom baits, and we got Todd supplying us with all the digital banners, checks, Hobie Eyewear with the big bass. I mean, we have a bunch of really, really phenomenal companies that have really stood behind our club the past couple years, and very grateful for what they've provided us and the support. So again, huge shout out to those guys. Make sure you're going out there and supporting them using our club affiliated links to capture that you guys are, receiving those membership discounts, but also, that's their return on investment to come back and support us in the years to come. So super excited about that and that continued support. So huge shout out to those guys and those companies, and looking forward to, the future with them. So again, be safe out there on Saturday. Have fun, go out there and catch a fish and a bag of a lifetime. But until then, be safe, tight lines, and we'll catch you again next week.
Later.
Tight lines, everyone. See you Saturday.